How you doing? This is my contest entry for Farley's Retro Fancave. Just reached 500 subscribers, so now running a competition called the Rule of Fives. Really like your videos, mate. Watch them a lot, and yeah, I thought I'd make my first contest entry for this one. Been in the VC for about 2 weeks. I've got a solid 10 subscribers, so 500 is awesome. So I'll start with my 5 favourite vocalists, and my first one is going to be Mike Patton from Faith No More. Just absolutely love his voice, really distinctive. He can snarl, rasp, and then just break into his a really good singing voice, and it's quite unique. So that's my first one. My second choice is going to be Rob Halford from Judas Priest, mainly for his range and his live voice as well. He's got a really good live voice, so that's primarily why I picked him. My next choice is Jeff Tate from Queensryche. Again, just a really distinctive voice. It really sticks out and really suits the songs that he sings. So that's my number 3. My number 4, if I can find it, is going to be Tom Kiefer from Cinderella. And again, his voice just sticks out to me. He's got that kind of raspy, snarling vocal that I think just really works well. I really like that kind of vocal, so he's my 4th pick. And my 5th pick is going to be Miljenko Matajevic, who is the lead singer for Steelheart, and he also did the lead vocals for Mark Wahlberg in the film Rockstar. He covered all his vocal performances, really good range, absolutely phenomenal singer. Probably sang one of the best power ballads of that time, I'll Never Let You Go, and his range and voice in that's second to none, so he's going to be my 5th pick. On to my guitarists, and the first one is going to be Dave Murray from Iron Maiden. And a lot of people say like Dave Murray and Adrian Smith are like a double act and you can't have one without the other, but I like Dave Murray just that little bit more. I don't know why, I like his solos, I like his stage presence, and he's just a nice guy, so I've gone for Dave Murray. My second choice for guitar is going to be Alexi Laiho from Children of Bodom. Absolutely technically brilliant. The speed he plays is amazing, plus he's the lead singer and lead guitarist, so it's no small feat. And on this album he plays a song called Every Time I Die, which is just absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, Alexi Laiho. My 3rd choice is going to be Dave the Snake Sabo from Skid Row. I first heard him on this album, and nearly every riff in it's absolutely amazing. It's one of those albums that as soon as you hear, you look up all the musicians, see who they are. So Dave Sabo for number 3. Number 4 for guitarists is going to be the Nameless Ghoul, or Alpha from Ghost. Absolutely amazing riffs. Just love this band in general as well, and I think it's his guitar playing that really holds the whole set together. So that's my number 4. Number 5, I'm going to go my favourite band, Mick Mars. Absolutely brilliant. Like his personality as well. He's just like a really down to earth, quiet guy. Had a bit of a hard time. He's got like pain in his back and stuff like that. So the way he still used to go out and tour right up until the end was absolutely phenomenal. And for me, he was just a really great guitarist. So that's my number 5. So that's me on to my favourite bass players, and I'm going to go with Iron Maiden again and Steve Harris. Absolutely love Steve Harris. He's got the charisma and energy of a lead guitarist. He's got that kind of energy on stage that just catches your eye, and running about, and at the age he's at as well, he's not a spring chicken anymore. I think is phenomenal, so he's my number one. Number two is going to be Faith No More again, and Billy Gould. Absolutely love his bass playing, especially on this album, because obviously you get a lot of bass players who are like more in the background, they just keep the rhythm, and you don't really hear a lot of their bass. But on this album, it's really at the front of most of their songs, so he's my number two. Number three is going to be Motley Crue again, and Nicky Sixx. Now I know Nicky Sixx isn't known as the most accomplished bass player, but I think more for his songwriting as well, and his lyric writing, and it's basically just his vision for the band, which basically got them to where they are, or where they were, is absolutely brilliant. So he's my third choice. My fourth choice is going to be Pars Sundstrom from Sabaton. Co-songwriter, co-founder of the band, and I've seen them live, and he just spends the whole time, although they sing about war and battles and death, he spends the whole time on stage with a massive smile on his face, as if he's loving every minute of it, and I think that's great. It just looks like he's having a great time, and it makes me want to have a great time. So that's my fourth. And my fifth choice for bass player is going to be Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm not the biggest Chili Peppers fan, but I like his stage presence. I think he's kind of along the same lines as Steve Harris. He's got that presence, that charisma that it takes your eye off everything else, and you just want to look at what he's doing because he's got so much energy and he's really going for it on stage. So he's my number five. So I'm on to my 5 deceased musicians that I would like to meet. First one was easy. That's got to be Dio. Just the voice of heavy metal. I think the majority of his songs are absolutely phenomenal. Love most of his stuff, so Dio would be number one. Number 2 would be Randy Rhoads. Love the guy, great guitarist, good stage presence. Definitely taken too soon. Played amazing on the first 2 Aussie albums. I think it was the first 2 Aussie albums. So that would be my number 2 choice. My number 3 would probably be Jim Morrison. I'm not a big Doors fan, but he just kind of comes over as the psychedelic 60s lead singer with probably a lot of things going on in his mind, so I'd probably like to pick his brain and see what was going on in there. So I think he'd be quite an interesting guy. So that'd be my number 3. Number 4 would be Richie Edwards from the Welsh band Manic Street Preachers. Mainly because of the way he disappeared. He was never actually found. He was just declared dead after, I think it was in 2008. He disappeared in 1995 without anyone knowing. He was never seen again. Nobody knew what happened to him. So I'd like to just sit him down and say, where did you go? And my number 5 would be Paul Gray from Slipknot. Co-founder of the band, songwriter as well. So I would definitely want to meet him as well. So now on to 5 albums that define me. And I'm going to start with the most extreme one. And I've lost it again. And it's going to be Children of Bodom, Follow the Reaper. Absolutely love the album, and it'd definitely be, this is like the most extreme I would probably go to. I mean, I do go a bit more heavier and extreme than this, but this is day to day, this is the kind of stuff I would listen to. And if anybody asked, I'd say listen to this because it's absolutely shit hot. So that'd be my first. My second choice would be Dr. Feelgood. I think it was, for an outsider who maybe wasn't into the type of music I was into, it'd be the easier of the Motley Crue albums to listen to. Motley Crue are my favourite band, so I'm not going to leave them off the list. I think this would be definitely the easier album to really appreciate, so that's my number 2. My number 3 will be self-titled debut w.a.s.p. This is a double album, but I would definitely go for the debut. Just love it from top to bottom. That would be the one I would just say, go listen to this. This is what I'm all about. This is what I listen to. So, number 3. Number 4 would be Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz. This was the first Ozzy album I owned, and I just loved it. I hadn't heard really any Ozzy stuff before, and so this was the key album that got me into all his stuff. So this would definitely be a number 4. And number 5, completely different, would be Michael Jackson, Bad. I got given this album when I was about 9 or 10 for a Christmas present, and I've owned a copy of it ever since. I think I've lost copies, damaged copies, and I've always bought a new one. It's always on my iPod. I can always listen to it. I listen to it maybe every couple of months or something. I still love it to this day. So that'd be my number 5. So now I'm on to 5 books or movies that move me, which I found quite hard because I don't really get moved that easily by books or movies, but the first one I will say I did get moved by, which is, I think it's already been mentioned in a video, and that's the book A Child Called It by Dave Pelzer, about a 6 or 7 year old boy who is mentally and physically abused by his mother. Absolutely horrific read. I've only read it once, and that was about 15 years ago, and I've never read it again, but I still remember it pretty much to the page. It's that horrific. But it's also a book that you want to read because you want to get to the end and you want to see the boy get better and basically get taken away from his mum. So it is a good read, but it's quite hard to read as well. So that'd be my number 1. My number 2 would be a film, and it's going to be Rocky 2. Might be a surprising choice, but I'm a big Rocky fan. I like all the films, maybe apart from number 5, that's a bit shit. But Rocky 2's that's the film where he lifts the belt for the first time. He beats Apollo Creed in the last seconds of the match, as they do. And for some reason, every time I watch it, I'm filled with joy. I'm glad for Rocky that he's won his belt. So that's my second choice. My third choice is the film American History X, which for me, I think I kind of discovered the movies that do stick in my mind are the ones that kind of put you in a place where you've never really been, that you'd maybe be apprehensive of. So American History X is one of these films. Where I come from, Scotland, there's not a lot of that kind of racism around. So to watch that kind of film obviously puts you in a place you're not really comfortable with. It kind of takes you out your comfort zone, and obviously the ending is a bad ending for obviously the main character, Edward Norton. He goes kind of full circle from being like a neo-Nazi to coming around and basically accepting people for basically what they are, and in the way it ends as well with his little brother is a bit obviously sad because you don't really want it to end like that, but it's one of those films that really stuck in my head. Number 4, I would go for $1 Million Baby. Obviously the girl who's trying to become the professional boxer. Kind of the rags to riches kind of story as well, where she's not got a shot and then she gets the shot, she becomes really good, and obviously she has a tragic accident and is crippled and basically is down to nothing. So that's one of the films as well. I've only watched that a couple of times, but that's a film that sticks in my head. And my last choice would be the film Sleepers. basically just for the theme of the film about the child abuse. I'm going back to child abuse again because that's the kind of thing that really, I mean, it's a hard watch as well. So, but those are the films that really do stick with me. So that's my number 5. So that's my five. The rule of 5's done. Sorry, and I am new to the VC, so I'm not going to attempt to imitate anyone in case I offend anyone. Plus, my imitation would probably butcher accents and all that stuff. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll just go for the one entry. Thanks, and good luck with your contest, mate. 500 subscribers is absolutely brilliant, and keep up the videos. Cheers.